Let me at him!
Well, there it is. New maps. A few things have changed. In this video I'm going to be letting you know which maps have been introduced, removed, as well as the maps that are somewhat in limbo. So as you can see in front of you right now on the screen is all of the maps that have been introduced, the ones that are in limbo and the ones that have been removed. So you've got 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2, 3 versus 3, 4 versus 4 and free for all. So as you can see, the maps that are in green are the maps that have been entirely introduced. They are brand new. Well, at least for this reset. Well, you may have seen them before, however they are new for this reset. So the ones that are in the orange colour amongst the green at the top are the ones that are in limbo. They are maps that were in the previous ladder before we got reset and are still in this one. So they have made it. They have survived. The ones underneath where the maps are lost are the maps that we have, well, lost. And this has definitely caused a lot of controversy. I've seen through my comments, I've been through my videos, my reactions, your reactions, and yeah, it's been interesting. So as you can see, I've made this little document, and if you look at the video description below in this video, you will see a link to this Google Docs form that I have created where you can actually have a look for yourself in case you were curious which maps are new, which maps, you know, have gone and all of that. I've just done all the hard work now. It's taken me just an hour basically, and I got the brilliant idea of doing it because I was like, oh man, they changed all the maps. Oh, I wish I remembered which maps we had. I should have recorded it. And then I realized that a few months ago I made an actual Word document on paper. You can't really clearly see, but that's all of the maps, 2 versus 2, 1 versus 1, all that kind of stuff. That was on the current ladder. And which ones got removed, which ones have stayed, and I've now put that onto a form for you guys to have a look, and it's right there in the video, so it's very handy, I must admit, if I do say so myself. So as you can see, 1 versus 1, I'm going to be going through this, and you will be able to have a little look at the map at the top right, because not all maps are covered on the maps of the Warcraft free site, so I figure it's just easier to go through the maps this way. So first of all, the first thing to notice is every single 1 versus 1 map that you knew that was on the last previous season has been removed. We now have completely new maps, and some of them are a little bit odd. So we got Bandit Ridge, Hills of Glory, that's an odd one, Glacier 4, that passes, Road to Stratham. Don't worry, in a future video, in future videos rather, I'm going to be going over specific maps or just the 4 versus 4 maps, my opinions, how I feel about it. So this is just simply a quick glimpse into which maps are introduced, removed and have stayed. So we've got Road to Stratham, Shrine of the Ancients, I wonder how that one's going to play out. Tirisful Glades, that's one that used to be there. Broken Shard, well when I say used to be there, I mean used to be there a long time ago, not in the previous season. Broken Shard, Deadwater Drop, I feel like that's a really, really old map, that one. Super basic. Ruins, that's interesting, that map. I think that has its place somewhat. Anyway, I don't want to go into too much detail, otherwise the video goes on for ages. Ice Flow, Ice Forge, Inacro's Way, and Whirlwind. There is one thing I'm going to say though, if I am going to go into somewhat detail, is this map. It says it's for 2 versus 2 or 3 versus 3. Well, the interesting thing to notice is that it doesn't mention 1 versus 1 as the suggested players. So will the players always spawn on the left side versus the right side, or will you end up getting both the players spawning on the left hand side? I'm curious about that. Again, I'm going to go into this in future videos because there's so much to talk about potentially, and this video would last forever. So we're moving on to 2 versus 2. Now, there's only one map that's managed to stay, and we're going to come across that shortly, as you can see. We've got Broken Shard, Halfglen Hills, Deadwater Drop, Hellfire, Ice Flow. In case I'm going too quickly, just feel free to pause the video at any moment in case you want to see what it looks like. Of course, like I say, in future videos I'm going to probably look at the actual maps inside of the world editor and show you that way, but I could not possibly do that on top of this video as well in one go. Ice Forge, Inacro's Way, I'm going to enjoy saying that. Moonglade, that's the one that stayed. That's the only 2 versus 2 map that has actually managed to not be untouched. So far, untouched by Blizzard's changes. So, Tanaris is our new one, roundabout. Ruins of Stratham, that looks curious, I must admit. And Dragon Mountain looks somewhat biased towards the right-hand side. 3 versus 3 now. We've got Andahor. Again, these Red's got a huge point. Teal's got a huge point. I'm sure it's balanced in game, but my goodness, some stuff looks weird. Andahor, Demon's Crossing, these 2 are new. Dragon Blight, this one has managed to stay. Well, what do you know? I like this map actually. I've got many fond memories of this map. In Acro's Way, once again, makes its it makes its way into the new ladder pool. And then you've got High Perch and Monsoon, which we've had before in the previous season. Then you've got Timbermore Hold, Wheel of Chaos, Ruins of Stratham, and Northshire. These are new ones. Timbermore Hold is actually on Reign of Chaos. At least it was. I haven't checked the Reign of Chaos ladder pool, and I don't know whether that's changed, to be honest with you. That's something I can look into. But at least for the TFT, the Frozen Throne, we've got Timbermore Hold back, which is exploitable, to say the least, from my experiences of playing on Reign of Chaos. Hinterland Raid, that's one that's got to stay. I never really played much 3 versus 3, so I'm looking at these maps and I'm thinking they're new ones, but no, these are ones that have, according to my sheet here, and this sheet was done, I don't know, a few months ago, maybe a little bit longer ago, but the last season reset was like 2 years ago or something stupid like that, so this would still be up to date. Plains of Snow, now moving on to 4 versus 4, this is the one you're interested in, I'm interested in. Okay, well the interesting thing to note is, as you can see, as you can see here, or up there. Ferrolas is a new map, Northshire is a new map, the Crossroads is a new map. However, all of the other ones that you see have managed to stay, so we've actually got a lot of the original maps. I would have preferred more of a mix-up, but only on the maps that I don't like, if you know what I mean. So, Battleground, happy with that. Cherryville, that could have changed. Deadlock, happy with that staying. Ferrolas, a new one, very curious. Ooh, I think we'll get some fun games out of this one. Full Scale Assault, that could have stayed or gone. Golems in the Mist, I like that map enough for it to stay. However, I wouldn't be upset if it gone. This is just me being very quick, but I will go into more detail in future videos. Market Square, that has to stay. If they took that away, I would be really upset. Northshire, interesting, new one. So I'm okay with that one. That looks curious. Yes. Twilight Ruins, that's of course an old one, and we get to keep it because it's a good one. Death Knell. Oh, if I was recording myself, I can tell you what, can you guess what I said when I first saw this map? I was going through this before I recorded this video and making like the sheet that you see currently in front of you. Like, you'll get an access to the Google Docs, like I say in the video description below, make sure you check it. I was going through all the all the thingies, and just like, I was doing it silently, no problem. And then I came across Death Knell. A split second I saw Death Knell, I went, fuck! Like that, as loud as possible. And I wasn't like showing off to anyone, it was just my natural reaction. I was just like, no way. That managed to stay. Unbelievable. Anyway, this is time for another time. Crossroads, new one, curious. Feels like someone might get screwed over on this side. Interesting 2 versus 2 / 4 versus 4. Depends how the map really plays out, how much of it is a river. Again, I'll look into this. And Last Man Standing. That could have gone, to be honest, that one. It's unique enough, I suppose, but at the same time it kind of plays in a linear fashion, so I could have been happy with that going. Moving on to Free For All. Desert Strife, new. Ice Forge, new. Dust Storm, Limbo. Emerald Shores, Limbo. Monsoon, Limbo. Stranglethorn, Fail, new. I like the look of that one, but it looks a little straightforward. Also small enough that you could have some real actiony packed. That almost makes me want to play Free For All on that map. Deadlock, Limbo. Northshire, new. Twilight Ruins, Limbo. Andahor, new. Demon's Crossing, new. Ooh, that's a weird one for Free For All. If you spawn in the middle, what the hell? Battleground, Limbo. So there you go. There's all of our maps that have been introduced, removed, and such. So I could describe you know, you've lost Secret Valley, you've lost Melton Valley. You can see it all there. I can simply say the names for you, but this is stuff for another video, I think, when I'm going to go over my opinions on all of that. A lot of the good maps have gone. Lost Temple's gone. People are like, oh, no more no more Tower Island. Oh yeah, maybe you're right. Unless one of these 2 versus 2 maps has the potential for it. I doubt it, but me and Pracky can always venture into that. So we've lost a lot of maps, as you can see, and we've gained a whole ton of maps. So it's been a huge revamp. When you look at that, look at the middle bit. The maps lost and the maps gained. Those are totally different maps now on the pool compared to the maps that have gone. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. Now, the fascinating thing to wonder here is people have been wondering, because of the map changes, and particularly some of the 1 versus 1s that they've introduced, where people are like, oh, these don't look very balanced. Yeah, I've noted down at the very bottom, you say players now. That's the recent one. So if you go to players then, this was me noting, okay, for the 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2, so I can't, there we go. So if I show you here, like the 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2, 3 versus 3, 4 versus 4, 5, free for all, there are 6 2-player maps for 1 versus 1, 6 4-player maps for 1 versus 1, and so on. That's what that means. 1 6-player map for 1 versus 1, and then 9-player maps. So as you can see, that's what I'm talking about when all of these numbers are here. And on 4 versus 4, you had 12 8-player maps. Of course, there was no 12-player maps, purely just 8-player maps. Now the interesting thing is this is the players now. So this is the new maps that have been put in and the updated changes. You'll notice they're exactly the same. Nothing's changed. Blizzard have basically said, right, now they've either done one or two things, in my opinion. They've either gone, okay, so we used to have 6 2-player maps. We now need 6 2-player maps that are different up here. As you can see, all of these 1 versus 1s are different. We also need 6 4-player maps that are different. We're introducing those. And 1 6-player map, because we used to have 1 6-player map over here. Or rather, over Knollwood, wasn't it? Over here. Because I can't, my mouse cursor doesn't go over the image. So, that's one of two things. The first thing is they literally did go over and say, right, we need the exact... I think we should aim to hit exactly the same sort of level we had before, where we had 6 2-player maps, 6 4-player maps, and 1 6-player map. And that way, they then went through the archives and said, oh, this looks like a good 2 versus 2. This looks like a good 2 versus 2. This looks different. This looks weird. Let's chuck that in there. That might spice things up, and so on and so on. And then that way, they managed to sort of replace the maps, but still have the same, I can't think of the word for it, but the same amount of players required for each map sort of thing. You know what I'm talking about. I just can't think of a fancy way to say it. Or the second option is they had some sort of weird bot algorithm do it all for them, where they went, Mr. Robot, and he goes, yes. They say, please replace these maps with 6 2-player maps, 6 4-player maps, and 1 6-player map. And the robot goes beep bop beep, and it just literally pulls maps randomly. It doesn't look at them, it doesn't think about them, it just goes, these are 2-player maps, 6 of them, boom, replaced with the other 6. These are 4-player maps, 6 of them, boom, replaced with the other 6. This is a 6-player map, boom, replaced with the other 6. Doesn't even look at it, and then boom, that's what you've got. And Blizzard go, thank you, robot. And then they say yes, they click the button, and then that sets off all of the maps. They are now saved. They can't be changed until they do another ladder season, and it's set in motion from there on. Now you can let me know in the comments section below which of those two options you think it was, and I'm sure I think a lot of you are going to go with the latter. But please feel free to just talk about whatever you wish regarding the maps. I'm very curious to find out from your information, your feedback. I need it, I want it, I want to hear from you guys, I want to correspond with you guys, and in future I'll be able to make videos based off your feedback. And that way we can all sort of work together and try to work out how to get through this, because some of those map changes are rather tough. They're tough. But the 4 versus 4 got hit the least, I would say. You can clearly see it got hit the least. It only had 3 new map changes, and I like all of those 3 new maps that they put in. However, I am sad that they didn't put in Gold Rush. They didn't put in Hurricane Isles, for example. There's others, but I'm not necessarily thinking of them off the top of my head. But Gold Rush and Hurricane Isles, I would have loved to have seen it again, just for sheer Oh, there's so many gameplay potential on options on those. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys. Like I say, in the Google Doc form below, if you, in case you're curious about playing for yourself and you want to find out about these maps and you want just a long list of all these maps, it's all there. It's all very clear, as you can see. Green is the ones that are brand new. Orange, I put it in a lighter orange and I put it in a lighter red. It's really pink, but think of it like traffic lights. Green is go. Those are the new ones that are coming in. Orange is the one that's where you sort of like you have to wait. There's just limbo, and pink / red are the ones that have gone. They are gone. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Let me know what you think. Subscribe, like and comment, and I'll be back shortly with more videos regarding these map changes and my experiences on the ladder with these maps. Stay tuned for more. Bye bye.